Hey guys, just a brief intro to the rest of the video, which has a video I shot on a real rainy day here in Belize at the zoo, describing some of the work that you guys could do if you're willing to tackle it. But first of all, I want to just say once again, thank you so much for all of you that are coming and willing to spend your time and your treasure here helping us out. This is really an important project, and I'm so grateful you're going to be a part of that. Now, regarding the zoo, this is some challenging work in the zoo, and I don't want you guys to feel like you have to work beyond what you're comfortable doing. And in essence, a good deal of the trees that need to come down in the zoo are inside animal enclosures. We will not be able to have any heavy equipment to get you up there or do anything like that. So you may elect not to tackle those jobs. And the zoo personnel understand that. I certainly understand that. I don't want you guys to get in any unsafe situation. Unsafe being that many of those trees in the enclosure will have to be done by climbing the trees themselves. I don't know if you have experience working with climbing spikes on boots or this sort of thing with ropes. I don't want you guys to get into anything more than you're not prepared to do. But many of the trees in the zoo would require that, climbing it up and topping off a tree and taking it down in sections, all by climbing and by ropes. If that's beyond what you guys want to do, no problem at all. I don't want you guys to feel like we're going to put you in any unsafe situation. In fact, we would just be horrified to put you in that kind of situation if you're not prepared or have the experience to do that. So no problem. Other trees at the zoo can be taken down from ground level and usually around the perimeter of the zoo and the parking lot and the entrance driveway. That's all able to do that with boots on the ground as opposed up in the air. So, but I wanted to send this out to you so you could get a good idea of what the kind of work is at the zoo, and hopefully you can spend at least a day there, at the very least, taking down some of the trees with your boots on the ground. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, or Larry can let me know any questions or anything else you might have. Hope to see you in a couple of weeks, and God bless now. Bye-bye.
These two pines right here.
These two pines here?
Yep.
Let me see where I can get
This is
good view of it.
staff parking, playground. There's a lot of traffic in this area. Either way they fall. If they fall into the main parking lot, it's a risk.
Right. All right, guys.
Correct, yeah.
Here's the first of the two pines they want to take down. These are dead, and it's right over the parking lot. You can see. Let me get up and give you an idea how tall it is. It's up there pretty high. And the one here on this left side as well, same thing. So those are the first two. As I understand it, they are okay with the trees just coming down intact and then cut up into lengths as they would like. They'll probably use the lengths for displays, this sort of thing. So that's the plan. I want to give you an idea of just how many jobs or how many trees need to come down. So that's the first group. All right, we're near the parking lot. So here's another one. Maybe the two of them. Oh, you can see the shorter one. Yes. That one's dead. And then another tall one. And here's another look of the first two that I showed you before. So those also need to come down.
And then if you want to
so 1, 2, 3, 4.
And if you swing to your right, you have these two.
Oh my, I didn't see those. All right. So these are often dead trees, not only damaged from the hurricane, but they're a beetle, boar beetle, did you say?
Well,
or they just
drought and heat, basically.
Drought and
fire and heat that we've had after the hurricane.
Okay.
Didn't help.
So those are dead, and they're certainly a hazard. Right behind those trees are some of the main buildings of the zoo itself. So that might be tricky coming down. We can talk about the best way to do that. You guys know how best to do that as well. So, all right, there's couple more there for you.
Like
Yeah.
starting.
Okay, we're coming into the driveway to the zoo itself, right? And so you can see there's a couple of pines here. Pretty much strictly all the trees that need to come down are pines. And they're all near the road. So we've got like 4 different ones here that could come down. I would think these are pretty straightforward, but you guys got the better look at it. So and there's another one at the end. So yeah, if we don't take them down, eventually they'll come down in an inconvenient and maybe even a dangerous fashion.
We would just
Into the enclaves.
we would seal it here to have Indy lives in here. Indy would just be kept outside so they could work. That's not a problem.
All right. All right, guys, there's another couple here. I think these are more of a priority. Oh. And you can see this one is leaning over. It's towards a building structure. And then the other one to the right, it's straight, but it's dead. And it will need to come down too. Evidently, this is the taper enclosure. So you'll get a part of the enclosure when we take those down, and the animal will certainly be cordoned off in another area. So there's another spot for you. All right, here is one that's of major concern. You can see the angle that it's leaning over. This got pushed over from the hurricane. This is a cedar. All the rest were pine. And this one is a lot like the one in the camp, the same type of tree.
Sadly, this one's alive.
This
is still alive.
It's still alive, but it can't stay at in the angle that it is. All right, one more tall one here, guys. Another pine. You can see this guy. Yeah, way up there. And this is the Coatimundi habitat. Like you can see him wandering around right there now. So never to worry about the animals if we have to take down a tree. The guys will have them moved to a safe location while we're going to be working in there. You can see a little something hanging over there. And then you can see ones that have been snapped off. Can you see that? So anyway, for the safety of the public and the animals, this work is necessary. Hey folks, I want to introduce you to Ben. Raining day today, but Ben's a jaguar, and we have a tree in his enclosure that needs to come down. So we're going to show you that in a minute here. All right, I introduced you to Ben earlier. This is part of his enclosure. This tree is the one that needs to come down. It's a big old pine. And let me come from this angle. You can see the angle that it's leaning in. That's right over Ben's enclosure. So we'll have Ben residing somewhere else when y'all take this one down. But yeah, it needs to be done for sure. All right, guys. Here's an interesting case here. You can see the root ball. This is blown over from the storm, but it came down in such a way that it's actually picturesque. So the thought would be to try to keep these lower branches that run parallel to the sidewalk, but maybe these upper ones could get trimmed out. That's what they're thinking. So probably not a priority, but would be something good to get to if we could.